Today I'm installing my freshly rebuilt 225 Slant 6 and the A727 transmission. I rebuilt both these units and the motor is new to the van. It had a 68 Slant 6 that had a cracked engine block. It was drinking its own Kool-Aid. But this 74 Dodge Dart donor motor is going to work out really nice. It's bored 30 over and it just turned out great. I'm stoked on it. The van itself hasn't been on the road for a while. I got it in the desert, so it's nice and dry, no rust. It's awesome. This A727 is mated to this Slant 6 with an adapter plate because in 65 they didn't have a bell housing on the A727 that matched the back of the Slant 6, so this is a small block A727 that they utilized. And to mate it up, they've got this cool, super thick cast iron adapter plate. There's the part number. It uses this thick crankshaft extension. It's the same thickness as the plate, obviously. But the thing to keep in mind here on these is, in 68 they changed the crankshaft. This locating ring back here is wider. So this is a 74, still a forged crank. They're forged up until 1976. But in order to use this adapter here, you got to open it up. So this diameter here has to get opened up. Now before it was about almost 2 inches, and it's a little over 2 inches now. So fortunately my buddy put it on his lathe and turned that for me. I was lucky to have someone like that with the skills and the resources. Otherwise it's getting harder to find people to do small little machine jobs like that. But yeah, that's what you got to do if you're running this adapter situation on the Slant 6 with the A727, a pre-68 Slant 6 has that adapter, this crankshaft extension, and that adapter plate. So I'll be bolting that up once I get the engine hung on the hoist here. We've got to take the valve cover off, some other stuff that I don't want to get in the way. I'll be hanging it from these holes right there. That's it. Front holes for hanging it just the engine. The rear hole is for hanging it with the transmission. Now, it feels a little hairy for me to just put one bolt in there and pick up the whole engine, so I got this cool hoist plate from a guy on eBay. His username there is badvert66. I'll put a link in the bottom of the video there in the notes. But yeah, 50 bucks, free shipping. We're gonna see how this goes. But front hole is for picking up the engine, just the engine, so that it sits balanced. And the rear is if you have the transmission attached. And I'll be doing this in 2 parts. Unfortunately, these were originally put together in the factory together and put up through the bottom of the van or truck, depending on what your model is. But I don't have that much space, so I took it apart. I pulled the transmission and then pulled the engine out from inside. So I'll be putting the engine in and then bringing the transmission up from the bottom and reconnecting it. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it'll be fine. But yeah, this is the last time I get to look at this baby. Well, let's not say last. Hopefully this is the last time I look at this thing outside of the van. All nice and clean and ready to go. Loving it. Loving it. This was a super fun build. Super fun. Turned out really good. I'm really stoked on it. It's got a real stock look to it, but yet classy. Not cheap. It's like the details are there. But classy. I like it. Normally these engines are yellow for 65 in the trucks and vans. It's kind of like a pus yellow. But because my truck here has already got a yellow straight six in it, I thought I'd do something different. Plus the original yellow wasn't very sexy. So this is a 74 motor, like I said, came out of a Dodge Dart 225. I just went with the Chrysler blue. I think it looks good. It looks better than the yellow. So the color's true to the engine, not the model year of the van. But it's going to really help tie that room together in there with the carpet, you know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm going to stop this, pop this stuff off, and hang the motor, and we'll get that adapter plate on. Alright, got the valve cover off, the air cleaner off, and I got Bad Vert 66, his hoist plate on there, and it's a beaut, man. Works great. Gives you a lot more sense of security compared to just hanging it off a one bolt and a chain. Feels a little more stable. I don't know, it's probably all psychological, but I pulled it out of there with one bolt and a chain, 3/8/16. I don't like it, but this makes me feel a lot better. Much better. But you know, it's probably all in my mind. So here's that adapter plate. Trans. Now, I know that's sitting there, but it's not getting bolted up right now. I'm just going to hook this guy up and get ready for phase 2. Alright, I got the adapter plate on. Also has this side bracket here. It's kind of weird, but these Slant Sixes are kind of weird, aren't they? I like that. I like the weirdness. I got this nice little gangsta lean here. Alright. Got that flex plate on. Reminds you why you got those really short heads on the flex plate. Bolts to the torque converter there. Not a lot of room, but looks good. Looks real good. I'm just reminded, like, this Slant Six book by Doug Dutra's got all the torque specs in the back. 55 foot-pounds for the flex plate to the crankshaft. So that's cool. That's a great resource. If you're working on these engines at all, this book is recommended. But yep, there it is. Alright, time to pick it up and drop it in. I recruited the help of my assistant mechanic, my wife. She's gonna keep it steady and help me get that engine mount bolt down on that other side as I walk it in, and hopefully this doesn't be too much of a pain in my ass. Let's hope.